Welcome to the Jimbo No Show. Today is September the 30th. This is the week 4 of college football and week 3 of NFL. Like always, I got my co-host E-Cube with me.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
So we're going to discuss the college football like always first. Then we're going to go back into NFL. So I'll let you start it off like always, Harry.
All right, as always, I'm going to talk about them boys, the Gamecocks of South Carolina. So this past week, we had the University of Central Florida come into William Bryce Stadium. Basically, this is our first tune-up game, you could say, of the season. You're thinking week 4 and you finally get a tune-up game. Well, we had UNC, that's the ACC. You had, Kentucky, that's the SEC. Then you had Georgia, that's the SEC. And now finally we get somebody who's not in a major in a major division come into our town, and that is University of Central Florida. And you're thinking, okay, this is our tune-up game. We can rest some players, hopefully, in the second half, and we can also work out some kinks that we have on offense just to see how things are going and feel it. So the game started off great. Well, I shouldn't say started off great. I think we had a 3-and-out, or we ran 6 plays and had to punt. But the punt got pinned down at the 1-yard line or the half-yard line, and then the defense comes up with that crucial safety, gets the whole crowd behind it. I'm thinking, okay, potential for a blowout getting ready to happen. And then on our next possession, we get the ball, we drive down the field, and we kick a 51-yard field goal. And I'm thinking, okay, we're showing huge promise here. We kicked a 51 field goal, and we got a safety. And then on our next possession, on Central Florida's next possession, we forced them into a punting situation. They punt the ball, and here's where it starts to go bad. Now, there's a rule of thumb in football on punts that if the ball ever is kicked inside the 5-yard line, you don't touch the football.
Yup.
We got Farrell Cooper down there. He's our one key highlight offensive player that we have. And you're thinking this guy should know that you don't touch the football. And especially on punt returns, when you're backing up to try to make the catch, whether it's inside the 5 or not, you try not to touch the football if you're still backing up. Because any and everything that can possibly go wrong will go wrong. And he tries to field he didn't even fair catch it. He tries to field the punt inside the 5-yard line. He muffs it. UCF recovers it on the 1, and you're thinking, okay, here comes Carolina starting to unravel. And, of course, next play, they score. They force us into a punting situation, and then they get the ball, drive it down the field again. They score again. Now we went from being up 5-0 to down 14-5 going into halftime. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is going on? Especially right before halftime, we missed a 52-yard field goal, which, any field goal over 50 yards that you miss, you kind of go like, was he really going to make it or not? It's a college kid kicking 50 yards. You really don't expect him to nail those all the time.
It's more like a hit and miss with the 50-yarders plus.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what the hell is going on in this university? How am I going to be able to show my head at work on Monday? I can't believe Carolina's doing this to me right now. Why are you playing with my emotions? And then we come out in the third quarter, and it seems like the defense got their pep talk, the offense got their pep talk, and we ran off, I think it was 29 unanswered points, and we win the football game. So did we answer everything on offense that we need to answer? I don't think so. Lorenzo was the true freshman, got the start while they put the other guy on the sideline. So we're still looking for a starting QB because they were subbing in and out on quarterbacks. The defense, they looked again lackadaisical, like they didn't even care to be out there. And then I want to say they pushed the shutout in the second half of the game, but it's University of Central Florida. They're not supposed to score. If anything, if they do score, it's supposed to be a field goal, period. So our offense and defense isn't looking good. Like I said last week, rebuilding year. The only thing that I look forward to next week when we play Missouri is that their starting QB got suspended for that game. So we might have a chance. You know, who knows what team is going to show up to play. It just seems like it really seems like everybody on that Carolina team right now is playing to fulfill the agreement that they gave to the university right now. It doesn't seem like anybody is really putting forth a really good effort.
Y'all should have a good chance because Kentucky beat Missouri pretty bad.
Yeah, Kentucky did beat Missouri pretty badly this weekend, and we pretty much shut out Kentucky in the second half. So, you know, the numbers say we should have a good game, but just the way it feels, it doesn't look like it's going to be that way.
Yeah, like you said, this all depends on who shows up and who don't.
Yeah. So what's the next game on the docket?
Let's go to the Duke and Georgia Tech game.
Yes.
We both know you're a Duke fan by basketball.
Duke Association by basketball only.
All day on basketball.
Yeah, their football thing, not so much. But yeah, this game was pretty much 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Whoever can run the ball the best was going to win this game. And I don't want to say that Georgia Tech was able to run the ball better. I'm sorry, I don't want to say that Duke was able to run the ball better than Georgia Tech because they won it. I just want to say that Georgia Tech just had too many turnovers to overcome because they turned the ball over deep in their own territory, and Duke capitalized on most of those turnovers to actually seal the game. And Duke's safety played one hell of a game. I think he forced like 2 fumbles and got an interception as well. So he played his heart out in that game. Some might say it was an upset. I look at it, it was like, Duke might be on the up and up in the ACC, but you never know.
Like we already discussed, they know for basketball. Coach K, keep up the good work, but the football team looks like it's promising for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We just have to wait out the season, see how they turn out this season. Do they go to a bowl game or do they just crash like some years?
Yeah, well, hopefully, I don't think they're going to get a major bowl, but I see them in the Peach Bowl. It's called the Chick-fil-A Bowl now, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I see them in the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
But making a bowl, it still counts.
Yeah, it's money either way.
Oh, yeah.
What's next up on the docket, sir?
I want to bring up the LSU and Syracuse. Why in the world can LSU couldn't be Syracuse way worse than what they did?
Okay, so a lot of people were talking about that game on Sunday as well. So let's examine the facts. Yes, it is Syracuse, and they're known for basketball as well. But prior to this game, Syracuse was 3-0. They were holding opponents to less than 20 points a game. I think they were in the top 20 in the rushing attack. So Syracuse on paper had a good team going into this game, and they should have on paper, they should have actually put up a great effort against LSU. Now, with that being said, let's look at LSU on paper. LSU obliterated Auburn. They literally ran through their prior 3 opponents to get to 3-0. And that number 7 as their running back, if he could come out this year, I would pick him number 1 if I had the number 1 draft pick in the NFL. Because what is he getting, like almost 200 yards a game?
Yeah. Last 3 games last 4 games is over 200 yards.
You got to think Mississippi State and what was the other team? Auburn. He's done it against. So that's SEC opponents. He's done that against SEC West opponents at that. And when you talk about the Auburn game, Auburn preseason had a Heisman candidate at quarterback, a preseason Heisman candidate, and was preseason predicted to be in the championship playoff series. So he did it against what they thought was premier competition. So that dude is a beast, and it's gearing up to be a really good game. I don't know when is LSU versus Ole Miss, but that is going to be high on my radar to watch because Ole Miss is straight up annihilating opponents, even though they didn't put up 70 points this week. They are still just destroying opponents left and right. And that's going to be a good game. I'm also interested in still seeing LSU versus Alabama. Alabama has already suffered one loss. We pretty much know that whoever wins that LSU-Bama game is pretty much guaranteed a lock in the SEC championship game, or so it's been like that for a couple years, except for the couple times when Auburn won.
But yeah, if I was the coach of the LSU number 7, just go ahead and win each school next time. Just post the Heisman.
Just post the Heisman?
You know you're on the top of the list. I know it's only week 4, but just go ahead and go in there and celebrate with a Heisman post.
Now, he is what they call a true sophomore. Yes. He's not redshirt at all because, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, they were all redshirts sophomores. Mm-hmm. So they've been in school for 3 years and they won the Heisman. If this guy wins the Heisman as a true sophomore and then he actually has to come back to school to play a third season, we might get another 2-time Heisman Trophy winner because I think he is just that good.
Yeah, he is that good right now. I mean, but
yeah, it's a long season. Any given Saturday, any number of things can happen, and the kid can never play again. Knock on wood. I hope that doesn't happen to him.
See, I wasn't trying to bring that bad luck on nobody, but you the one said it.
I want to see another because Archie Griffin's had that record for I don't know how long. I would love to see another 2-time Heisman Trophy winner that I actually saw play. So let's hope it happens for him.
Yeah, it could happen, but you know how it goes. He could have a couple of bad games and his Heisman just drops.
Yeah,
but I don't see it happening though.
Yeah, true.
Notre Dame blow out their game, so we ain't gonna talk about that game.
Let's talk about Georgia first of all. I just want to talk about my own mishap here. You see, here in the state of Georgia, we have a university called Georgia Southern. And everybody calls Georgia Southern. Yep. So when I saw that Georgia was playing Southern, I was thinking, why is Georgia playing Georgia Southern? That doesn't even make any sense. And then somebody told me, no, Harry, that's Southern. They're actually in Louisiana or something. And I was like, no, they're not. That's Georgia Southern. They're right down the road. And they're in Savannah or something like that. They're like, no, Harry, no. That's a different university. So I had to look it up. And to tell you the truth, I bring that up is because, what's his name? Chubb tied Herschel Walker's record for 12 consecutive games with 100-plus rushing yards. I just really wish those records were actually counted against quality opponents. Nothing to take away from Southern. You're not an SEC team or you're not a major conference team. So, let's not jump on the bandwagon too great that Nick Chubb is going to be all that he's cracked up to be. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I feel you. I mean, he did it. He ran it 100 yards against an FCS school.
Yeah.
That's like one of our schools going up to Citadel scored 100 points.
Yeah,
we did about 100-0.
Pretty much. Also, something that's very interesting to talk about. Did you see the conclusion of the Tennessee-Florida game?
No, I did not.
Okay. So, quick summary. Tennessee hasn't beaten Florida in the past 10 years. They've lost, whether it's home or away, they've always lost to Florida in the past 10 years. So this year, they are up in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. I think they're up by 5. In the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes to go, and Florida has the football. They're driving down the field, and Tennessee's defense forces Florida into a 4th and 14. You're thinking, okay, it's about to happen. Tennessee is about to break this straight. On a 4th and 15, the quarterback drops back. Well, first of all, Florida only rushes 3. I don't know why he only rushed 3 on 4th and 14. You kind of want to get after the quarterback because he has to pass it.
Yeah.
Anyways, they rushed 3. and they almost get to the quarterback. He scrambles around. He finds a Florida receiver, which would probably, if they would have tackled him immediately, barely been enough for a first down. But this guy reverses field, runs for 40 yards down the sideline for a touchdown on 4th and 14 to somebody that you haven't won in 10 years. You give up a touchdown.
Well,
demoralizing.
I could come up with a worser play. A team haven't won in in 65 years in the stadium. He was 0-65. I'll let you think about it. That's a trailer question to you. Just think about it. It's basketball.
Oh, basketball. 0-65. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. And it's college, too. Just think about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, what's the next game we got to talk about?
Let's go to the NFL now, since we didn't really watch too much college over the weekend.
NFL. Week 3 of the NFL. So, if you haven't paid attention to it, Tom Brady is mad at the NFL because they completely disrespected Jacksonville.
Yes,
why? Yeah. Why was Tom Brady still in the game in the fourth quarter when the Patriots are up by 30 points? Please explain that to me.
I can't explain it. I don't know. He's just pissed off.
They blatantly disrespected Jacksonville.
They ran up
Jacksonville.
The score. No, they ran up
the score. They were home? Oh,
yeah, home.
I guess that makes it a little bit better, but that's just disrespectful. Blatant disrespect.
I don't know. I mean, they could rest him, but that ain't gonna happen. It's only week 4, no week 3.
Jimmy, let me propose this question to you. You're a head coach. You have a star quarterback who's in his mid-30s, and you're up by 30 points, and it's the fourth quarter. Who do you send out to play quarterback?
My second string.
Exactly, because you don't want to risk him getting hurt. You got this game wrapped up. You send out that string. You send out that second string quarterback. Let him get some run. Let him get some NFL experience to see what he can really do.
Yeah.
Belichick said, Brady, go ahead and throw me another one.
After you get this one, we're gonna put you back in and throw another one.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this is disrespectful. These are grown men you're doing this to.
Remember, you got to play them again, too.
Yeah. Just disrespectful. And then we had tragedy in what happens to be one of the most boringest games that I ever watched. And that was the Steelers versus the Rams. And I'm a Steelers fan. And we get Le'Veon Bell back, and I'm thinking, okay, we're about to have like the greatest show on turf about to come out. Yeah, it's about to go down. And the final score was 12-6. And for the longest, it was 6-3. So I was like, yo, can somebody do something, please?
Obviously, they couldn't.
Please. Yeah, it was. And then the tragedy part of it was that Ben Roethlisberger, he got hurt on. I don't think it was a dirty play, and I want to say that before I get into my explanation. I do not think it was a dirty play, but the way the rule is written, because when Tom Brady got hit low and he was out week 1 he got hit like that in week 1 of one season and was out for the rest of the year. It's to protect your marquee players. Is that when a defensive lineman is on the ground, he can't lunge to tackle the quarterback. And the Rams defensive lineman was on the ground and he tried to get up, and then he got hit by a Steelers offensive lineman, which caused him to go forward, and he went into Ben Roethlisberger's left leg, and that's how he got hurt. By definition of the rule, a defensive lineman hitting the quarterback on the ground is a penalty. So my question is, why didn't the flag get thrown? It's hearsay. Those 15 yards, we probably still couldn't even get a touchdown, but, I wanted my flag.
I can answer that maybe because he was hit, then he went forward into the quarterback.
Accidental content.
Yeah.
I can see that because when you see it live, it looks like he lunged for it, but when you see the slow mo, you actually see. So I mean, it's all hearsay. You really can't. The NFL referees, supposedly the best referees on earth, so they made the right call. Excuse me, but when they saw it in game time speed, we have the privilege of watching the broadcast. I think it was on CBS, actually slow it down and show it to us in the super slow-mo. So, kind of wish the flag was thrown. That's all I'm saying. I want my 15 yards.
You as a fan just want the flag to be thrown like any other fan would want it to happen.
Yeah. And while we're speaking of tragedy, let's talk about the complete and total annihilation of the San Francisco 49ers by the Cardinals. Now, that game was 47-7. Now, I don't say that the Cardinals disrespected the 49ers.
49ers disrespected themselves for showing up.
Themselves, yeah, because the Patriots were actually driving down the field and scoring touchdowns at will. The 49ers, their defense, the Cardinals defense had 4 interceptions, 2 of those were returned for touchdowns, 4 forced fumbles, and a safety. So when the defense gives you 14 points,
more than that.
Sorry, no, they gave them 16 points. I can't even do math. When the defense gives you 16 points, it's kind of hard to say that the offense disrespected you. No, you disrespected yourself, like you said so eloquently yourself, Jimbo. It was just, I mean, wow.
Terrible.
Complete terrible showing. If anybody had Colin Kaepernick as their starting QB on their fantasy squad,
don't mention
he
that.
owes you an apology. He needs to write every fantasy owner a personal letter of apology explaining why he probably got the negative points in their fantasy league. That's just, he played horrible.
Negative.
Horrible. Yeah.
There's a bunch of negatives.
Let's talk about a little bit of personal triumph. Let's give a shout out to the Giants, who finally figured out how to win a football game when having a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter.
Thank goodness.
I mean, because honestly, if you look at it, had the Giants done what they were supposed to do, they should be 3-0 and should actually have a 2-game lead in that division. Because that division right now, the Eagles, I still don't think, even though they won. Oh, I'm sorry, the Pigeons. The Pigeons, even though they won, I still don't think that they figured out their offense yet.
No, they haven't.
The Cowboys, for some reason, figured out how to score 28 points.
And still lose.
And still lose a game when they have no Tony Romo, no Dez Bryant. I mean, they had 28 points and over 200 yards rushing before halftime.
And Atlanta came back and beat them.
Yeah, it still figured out how to lose the football game. That amazed me. The Deadskins, I don't know what the hell their problem is. So
you know what their problem is? They're missing Jackson, Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, they don't have Deshaun Jackson either? Alfred Morris is banged up, yeah. Yeah, so to me, I would say that the Giants, it's their division to lose at this moment right now. Get as many wins as possible before the Cowgirls get back up to the full strength, because I don't see the Pigeons or the Deadskins taking advantage of the situation and winning any critical games coming down the road.
I see that. I think I agree with that.
And right now, we don't know what's wrong with the Ravens. They're 0-3 in the AFC North Division, I believe that is.
I'm not going to try to figure out what's wrong with them.
Yeah. I know they figured out a way to lose against Cincinnati when they were up by 7 and late in the fourth quarter.
AJ Green.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much their secondary couldn't figure out how to get a hand on AJ Green. It's just, I don't know. And when I watched that game, watch the highlights of that game, I was thinking, oh, great. The Steelers are going to have a field day with their secondary because we got Big Ben. We got, what's his name, Antonio Brown, who's virtually unguardable against quality DBs. Now we're going against the Ravens secondary. We're going to have, that is right. Big Ben isn't going to be playing. It's Michael Vick. So pretty much at the beginning of the season, I would like to have said that whoever wins those matchups against the Ravens and the Steelers is going to win that division in the AFC. But right now, I hate to say it, the Bengals are actually looking like they can sneak in and get some wins because they've already beaten the Ravens once. They have yet to play the Steelers, and I think they actually have the Steelers within that 4-week period when they say Big Ben might be able to come back after 4 weeks. I think the Steelers have to play them once. So if they can get a win against the Steelers and the Ravens early in the season,
they'd be pretty good.
That's huge for Cincinnati. And Cleveland's going to be Cleveland, so ain't nothing to worry about that. Yeah.
Johnny Manziel?
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Manziel, no doubt, has a huge arm and looked great throwing the ball down the field. But everything else in the middle of the game, like managing the pocket, managing the game, he's just not. Granted, we've had a small body of work with him. It's just like I want to see more games before I want to give a critical judgment and say that he's not NFL caliber. But what I've seen in his one taking over halfway through a game because the quarterback got concussed, and two starting and playing a full game, to me doesn't look like that he is your quarterback of the future thus far. He might mature within a 1 week's progression of getting a full round of – of 2 weeks of getting a full round of first-team reps. You never know. So hopefully something will change there. And
we don't want to call him a Tim Tebow right yet.
No. We don't want to call him a Tim Tebow. Not yet. The list of Heisman quarterbacks who turned out to be nothing. We don't want to put him there yet.
Or what was that dude from Texas? You know which one? You know which one I'm talking about?
Vince Young?
Yeah.
That dude's out the league.
No, really? What those NFL stands for?
Yeah.
Not for long?
Not for long, yeah.
Then we had a couple of blowouts we ain't talked about yet.
Oh, we talked about the New England.
Bears and the Seahawks was a shutout.
Well, that game, I mean, it would have taken, God or Jesus to actually force the Seahawks to lose that game. First of all, it was played in Seattle where they have the 12th man advantage. It's also Cam Chancellor ended his holdout with the Seahawks. Yeah, so they got him back. The Chicago Bears are without Jay Cutler, and their backup is Jimmy Clausen. So, like I said, it would have taken like God or Jesus to come down and say, yeah, the Bears will win this game.
We got some good news for the Colts fan. They finally won a game.
They did win a game, but Andrew Luck still threw 2 interceptions. So it got released later on. I think it got released either Tuesday or today that he has a tear in his shoulder. So that might be the reason why he's throwing his interceptions.
No, come on now. Let's say the truth. That ain't no reason why he threw no interception. He threw the ball and then looked for the guy, and the guy stepped in front of it and picked it off. Come on now.
Maybe he thought his arm was stronger than what he thought it was, I mean, he thought he had an extra zip on it.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe he just didn't read the defense right like a lot of people do.
Yeah. True to that.
So let's talk about the future games coming up this weekend.
Yeah. I was excited to see this Thursday night matchup, the Steelers versus the Ravens. But now I'm probably going to be watching it just hoping that Vic can manage the game and we get some type of defensive touchdown or special team touchdown and win this game. So now I'm going to be sitting on this one like on pins and needles because this is a pretty much a must-win season. Like the percentages of a 0-3 team going to the playoff or I don't know what they are, but I'm pretty sure they're low. And I can't think of any 0-4 team ever making the playoffs. So
I never heard of an 0-3 team making to the playoffs.
And now that you mention it, yeah, it's true. So it's pretty much desperation for the Ravens right now that they pretty much don't want to start 0-4. So I'm pretty sure that John Harbaugh is going to pull out all the bells and whistles, all the trick plays, all the gadgets. He might even call up Belichick to see if he's got the Steelers playbook somewhere on file.
He ain't calling up no Belichick.
He's like, Belichick, I need that game tape. I need that videotape of their practice. I need something.
Bring up the video files.
So I'm pretty sure that the Ravens are going to do everything they possibly can to try to win this game tomorrow.
But after this game, y'all have Martavis Bryant back up for this one.
Yeah, we finally get our speedster, somebody who can take the top off, opposite of Antonio Brown. So we got a guy who can work underneath, and we got a guy that can go deep. We just need somebody who can deliver the pill. That's pretty much all we need.
Hopefully that Michael Vick hold his own for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because, he's got a top-tier running back. He's got a stud as a receiver. And like you said, he's pretty much got a speed demon on the outside and coming in 2 weeks. So we just need him to just manage the game, don't force anything.
He'll be back after this week.
Yeah.
The fourth game right here.
Yeah. So hopes and dreams, that's all.
Yeah. Panthers should have an easy game this weekend. Should.
Who they got? I know they just beat the Aints.
They got the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. Oh, man, they're going to feast on poor Jameis Winston.
Like I said, they should have an easy game. Should. If they show up.
Yeah.
This might be an interesting game to watch, the Texans and the Falcons.
You know what? I'm starting to feel bad for the Texans because that defense in Houston is great. Offense, not so much.
The defense should be awesome.
Yeah.
You got J.J. Watt, Clowney.
Clowney's actually playing. Cushing.
I can never remember his name, but I watched the doggone HBO thing, the whole thing. Hard Knock Life. Yeah. But, yeah, they should have a good defense. The offense, I don't know what's going on. You have Hopkins on one side. He's another speed demon from Clemson. He should be doing good, but I don't know. They lost Andre Johnson, too, didn't they?
Yeah, Andre Johnson's on the Colts now.
So that's the only one wide receiver I know they have on the team right now is Hoop Hawkins.
You know what sucks about the NFL is that they say it's a team sport, but the quarterback position is such a critical position on offense that if you don't have somebody who can throw the ball down the field, it's very simple. I mean, all you got to do is load the box up, force the running back to run into 8-man, 9-man, 10-man fronts, and then you're basically daring the quarterback to throw the ball. And if he can't deliver the pill to anybody, I mean, you pretty much you neutralize the offense. So that's what Houston problem is right now. They're flip-flopping between quarterbacks and between, I think, Ryan Mallett, and I can't remember the other guy's name. But they're going back and forth trying to figure out who's going to be their starter. They just need somebody who can complete a pass downfield 10 yards. That's all they really need.
I will agree with you on that.
If they can do that consistently, because they can run the ball without a doubt, especially they're actually running the ball without Arian Foster. So when he comes back and their workhorse is back there, they'll be a force to be reckoned with. But, right now,
until then,
defense isn't, they're just loading up on them and just forcing them boys to throw. And it's single coverage. It's not like they're seeing zone reads. Because they're jam-packing that box so they can't run the ball, and then it's single man-on-man coverage.
And if you can't do that, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Let me see that in Madden 16.
You already know what happened.
Yeah.
Chiefs and the Bengals should be real good.
Yeah, that should be a good game. That should be a good game.
And all the rest of them seems like blowout city.
Yeah, I do want to mention before we get out of here is that Denver, say what you want to about Peyton Manning, that he's got a dead arm or whatnot, but Denver right now, Peyton Manning does what Peyton Manning does best. He's being the sheriff. and he's just rounded in criminals right now and all his doubters. And Denver's right now, their front four on the line and those three guys in the linebacking core to make that front seven might be the best front seven in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
They are just that good. They're not allowing you to run the ball against them, and they're pressuring the quarterback every time he drops back.
That is true.
Yeah. Because they completely dismantled the Chiefs.
Yes, they did. The Chiefs.
And they completely just manhandled the Lions this past week.
Well, we can't say nothing about the Lions, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Then they got it. I would plead to the NFL, please black this game out. Don't even show the game. The Seahawks and the Lions on Monday night. Come on, just black it out. Show the cheerleaders or something. The whole 60 minutes.
Oh, that's hilarious. You don't want to see the Seahawks and the Lions play on Monday night?
Come on, man. We all know who's going to win this game. The Lions haven't done nothing this whole season. They 0-3.
You never know. Any given Sunday.
You just said this a minute ago. Seahawks with the 12th man is unbeatable. They playing home.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
That is true. So, you want to tell everybody how they can find you and your shows?
Yeah, let's see. Up there. To the left. Right. Whatever. Yeah, it's there down there. The Mind of Cube is live for all the social media sites. You type that into any one of the platforms, you're bound to find this beautiful mug come up. Join us pretty soon. We're going to kick back into the groove of doing some of the fall movies that are coming out. We might get a show out for The Martian, which drops this Friday, so stay tuned for that. And also, I know for a fact, speaking with my co-host, that we are doing the James Bond Spectre and the Star Wars movie that's coming out at Christmas time.
Good. This is Jimbo Knows. You know me. You can find me on all social media by looking up Jimbo. You can find me there. Until next time, peace.